Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrath Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday, the 8th of Rabi'ul Akhir, 1447, the 1st of October 2025. This Majlis took place after the Esha Salat at Darul Uloom Falai Darain, Tarkesar, Surat, Gujarat, India. Our Hazrat Wala starts off this Majlis by quoting قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Dosto, Buzrugo, Azizo, friends, elders, and most dearest ones, whenever I come here, you people ask me to say something. Even though this is not my position and status, and when I look at myself, I actually feel ashamed. Allah Ta'ala reward you people well that you listen with so much attention. What can I say about that? Hamatan Gosh. At every point, you people are so attentive and so focused. It is your great fortune. See, the first step is sama, to listen. And the person who is dumb, he cannot speak. Actually, the reason for that is because he cannot hear. If he listens, if he is able to hear, he will then be able to speak. In this path that we are walking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before you can even speak, kaan bano, bolne pehle kaan bano. Before you speak, become ears. Listen to what the Buzrugs have to say. Read their malfuzat. And then when that time comes, then you can speak. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb, in his presence, who used to be there? Ulama-e Daqqaq. Such ulama who knew the fine intricacies of deen, then too they would not speak. Even his ustads came and he took much into consideration about them. He made riayat and kept into consideration. These are my ustads. And when they came, they were very proud to say that we have a student like this. Eventually, they made ruju to him and they became his students now of tariq. Allahu Akbar. How, if it is for Allah, jab Allah ke liye jukna, fir aar nahi. When you have to bow down and humble yourself for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then where can there ever be a type of shame or embarrassment or this, that or the other? Allah Ta'ala has given us deen. So we need to have adab for our deen. We need to have adab for Quran. We need to have adab for hadith. We need to have adab for our ustaz. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb had what tremendous type of adab for Allama Ibrahim. He would go on to saying, my ustad, Allama Ibrahim, my ustad, Allama Ibrahim. And on the other hand, Hazrat Allama Ibrahim used to say that Allah has given me Mauli Wasiullah Jaise Shagird. Allah has blessed me with the student, the caliber of Mauli Wasiullah. So this is something very, very great, to humble yourself for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whoever is the senior, the adab will be accordingly. And whoever is junior, the etiquettes and the adab would be in line of that. Today there is a great deficiency in all of this. A person goes to many, many places, but he just remains deprived and deprived. Why? Because there is no adab. Allah Ta'ala in this dunya bless us with His love. his recognition. Ilahi maqsood man tu hi warizai tu muhabbat wa ma'rifat khud bide. And Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say that here you are asking Allah Ta'ala not only for His love, because love on its own also can take a person and drop him somewhere else. You need to have recognition for that as well, because that will be your conveyance and that will keep you on the path. Allama made such type of adab and had such type of respect for his student. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of staying on this path of our Buzurgan-e-Deen. Today, there is deprivation, aaj mahrumi, be-adabi ki wajah. Today, deprivation is there because of our disrespect. You know, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, you know, you're sitting, sometimes this way, that way, you'll have something on your lap or this. Sometimes the kitab just goes down a bit. And then he would say, you put the kitab down. There was such type of respect for kitabs. There was such type of respect for qalam and adawat, instruments of knowledge. At-turuku kulluha adab, the path, all and all of it, this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all and all of it is that of adab. Jo bhi pahuncha, adab ki wajah se pahuncha. Whoever reached, whoever conquered, whoever excelled and achieved, all of this here was because of the respect that they had. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab had much, tremendous respect for Hazrat Tanvi, tremendous respect for Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. You know, this is very, very famous. Mashhoor hai. Ek man ilm, ek man ilm, ek man ilm ra, dah man akal bayat. Listen, if you have one portion of knowledge, to understand that knowledge, you would have to have 10 portions of akal and intelligence. And our Hazrat Wala goes then on to say that dahman akal sadman adab bayad. And for 10 portions of intelligence, you would then need 100 portions of adab and respect. This is my khush nasibi, our khush nasibi, that we believe and we accept these great personalities. We respect these great personalities. We have importance in our hearts. We acknowledge them. This is our great fortune. Ilahi maqsood man tu hi warizai tu muhabbat wa ma'rifat khud bide. Oh Allah, my objective, my goal, my everything is only you and your pleasure. Therefore bless me with your love and your recognition. See, our Hazrat Wala is saying, Sheikh maqsood nahi hai. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to even say this. Ilahi maqsood man tu hi. Oh Allah, my objective is only you. इतनी ही याद कर ले. Learn this much. बहुत है. If you just understand this concept that's mentioned here, this theme, that subject matter which are in these couplets, it's everything for you. Otherwise, for you then to hold on to your sheikh just like that is actually equal to holding on to a pillar without understanding anything. You'll just be hanging on to that pillar. So, the person who has one portion of knowledge, he'll need 10 portions of intelligence to be able to understand that knowledge. And the person who has 10 portions of intelligence and that type of ilm, he would need 100 portions of adab. You have addressing some senior that's there in the front. Our Hazrat Wala is saying, you have gathered so many people here. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of having respect of this tariq and this path to Allah, this deen of ours and our mashayikh. Jo bhi jahan pauncha, wo adab se pauncha. Whoever reached, wherever they reached, it was because of the blessings of adab and respect. Hazrat Maulana Ismail Shaheed was a man of great capacity. What type of knowledge he possessed, but the amount of respect that he had for Hazrat Sayyid Saheb, Hazrat Maulana Qasim Saheb Nanotwi. It is written about him that whatever he had achieved, it was actually because of his adab. Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of having adab. When we have adab, to rasta khul jayega. The paths will open up and we will reach our destination. You know, we're speaking about letters. Hazrat Tanvi made it very, very easy. When answering the letter, just there at the side, he would very briefly answer. You know, and we used to also write letters to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab. I'll tell you about this. It was one Thursday. You know, within the limits, we were sitting and there was casual talk and there was some type of laughter. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab came and he said, Acha, chutti mili, hasne lage. I've given you people off and a break and you're sitting and you're laughing in there. Okay, listen, from now, you write to me about your halat. What can I tell you people? Bas, that was the end of everything there. Allah Ta'ala qalb ko sudarne ki tawfiq de. Okay, so our Hazrat Wala now is reading from the text, from the Maktubat-e Ma'asumiyya, saying that Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Masoom is saying, Makhduma, my beloved, and the one who deserves to be served. The one who deserves to be served. What is he saying? Dil, mahalle nazre Maula Jalla Shanuhu hai. The heart is actually the place of focus of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dil ko pakiza rakna chahiye. You should keep your heart pure. Haq ta'ala ki jaye nazar. दिल को मखलूक के मंजर से ज़ेब व ज़ीनत में कमतर नहीं करना चाहिए. You, by looking at the spectacle or to people, you should not make your heart less. You should not make your heart less. Meaning you should attach more importance to that. Dil ki paakizgi, zikr se wabasta hai. This purification, the purity of the heart is actually fastened and tied with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lihaza, therefore, zikr or fikr mein mudawamat kare. You should be consistent in your remembrance of Allah and the concern for Islah. Or sabak e batin ko aziz rakke. And remember the sabak of the batin, keep it most dear to you. Wasfe nesti ke saath. And what is it? With the feature and the characteristic of annihilation of oneself. You know, our Hazrat Wala is saying, tariq pura nesti par hai. This path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of it is on that. Self-effacement, annihilation of oneself. Allah ta'ala is shobe mein bhi tarakki de. Allah ta'ala give us progress in this department as well. So, your murid, this disciple of yours, He is not your servant. He is not your servant. Seer, Hazrat Khaja Muhammad Masoom is saying, Makhduma, look at the amount of consideration he has for his murid. Perhaps it is greatly possible that your murid has even surpassed you in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now this ibadat itself is so wonderful. So don't pollute your heart with futile. Allahumma tahhir qalbi an ghayrik wa nawwir qalbi bi nuri ma'rifatik. Oh Allah, purify my heart from everything other than you and illuminate my heart with the illumination of your recognition. Now, the Urdu itself here that we are reading from is so fantastic. You know, what can you even say about the Farsi? Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to read the articles of the Maktubat-e Masumiya to us abundantly. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, in fact our Hazrat Wala is speaking about from his madrasa to come home, you pass so many of these function centers, these wedding halls, you know, and at that time if you lower your gaze, what type of lutf and what type of pleasure you will get is undescribable. Our Hazrat Wala is saying that at that time when there is a taqaza and the need to make badnazri and to cast lustful gazes, at that time when you control your eyes, you would perceive the sweetness. Ya ulum wa ma'arif, this knowledge and the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the secrets of the internal and the batin. Great ulama used to come to Hazrat Maulana Shah Fadlur Rahman, Ganj Muradabadi. Maulana Muhammad Ali Mangweri used to go. He would be sitting silent. Hazrat Tanvi went to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. Hazrat Gangohi went to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. All of them khamosh, silent. They went to a man of such great capacity. At that time, they were silent. Allah Ta'ala batini daulat se sarfaraz farmade. Allah Ta'ala bless us with the daulat, this internal daulat, the daulat and the wealth of the heart. Allah give us tawfiq. Sometimes Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, to find out about the condition of the ummah, would pick up the newspapers. And now there used to be some pictures here and there. And then immediately he would throw it aside, put it aside, and then what he would say, अब कैसे बचा जाए? अब कहाँ देखा जाए? Now, how will we protect ourselves? And now, where do we look? And what do we do? Nazar ki hifazat ki tawfiq de. Allah Ta'ala give us the inspiration, inspire us to look after and protect our gazes, to look after and to protect our hearts. Ilahi maqsood man تو ही व रिज़ाए तू मोहब्बत व मारिफत खुद बिदा. You know, we used to write these letters. So it's not something easy. So for a person to write about himself that I've got this in me and that in me, that is very difficult. So a person wrote much about his wazaif and his awrad, etc. And then Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab wrote there in the bottom that akhlaq ka kya hal hai? Tell me, you're writing about all of this. Okay, fine, in its place. But tell me, what's the condition of your character? What is the condition of your character? Your wazaif, your awrad that you're doing. कबूल कर ले तो समझे कि हम भी मुखलिस है, किए पेश दिलो जा के हमने नजराने. If Allah Ta'ala accepts it, then it's everything. At least we'll understand that we are sincere to some extent. We have presented this sacrifice with all our hearts and all our minds. Dilo ja se. Allah, let's make dua now. Allahumma آتِ نفسي تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها اللهم إنا نسألك اليسر والمعافاة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. Seeing so many seekers here, talibin, it brings much happiness to me. You people listen so attentively. Allah Ta'ala bless us with His love and His recognition. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to read out the Farsi and the Persian to us from this particular kitab. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.